Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kristin and I blog at lifeofstones.com where we share our personal journey to save money and get out of debt to help motivate and inspire you to do the same. Today I'm back to share with you 7 expenses that we cut to help us get out of debt. Now we're not completely out of debt yet, but we're super close. So if you haven't yet checked out my debt update video that I posted last week, I'll link that down below. Check that out to see how much debt we have left. If you're currently on your own debt-free journey or currently getting ready to start one, then stick around and see 7 expenses we were able to cut that you can possibly cut as well to help you gain some major traction on your debt-free journey. Before I get into the steps, I just want to mention that I know all of these expenses might not be possible for you to cut as well, but I encourage you to take a look at all your expenses as a whole. Everything that you pay out each month, and take a look, and I bet you there's places where you can make substantial savings in your budget, and all of that savings could go towards debt. So let's get right into it. Expense number 1 that we cut was cable. No, we didn't die. My husband was not into it. But once we did it and he got used to it, he was fine and we didn't even really miss it. But we did cut it for 2 years. And the reason we have cable again now is because it was such a great deal that we decided we would sign up for that cable package again, and that would be our family Christmas present. However, I don't even know if we're going to keep it. I believe the contract is up this year and we might actually cancel it again because I don't feel like we even watch it as much. So that's one thing to look at. So many people have giant cable bills. Take a look at your cable bill, and if you don't want to cancel it altogether, at least maybe call your provider and see if you can get them to lower your bill at all. Sometimes all it takes is asking. Other times you might have to threaten to take your business to their best competitor. Whatever gets the job done. Expense number 2, we got rid of our home telephone. So we probably, like you as well, spend a ridiculous amount of money for our cell phones. And it just didn't make sense. The home phone was just sitting here and we never used it. So we ended up cutting our home phone at the same time we cut cable because it was all together as a bundle, and we no longer pay for a landline phone, and we haven't missed it yet. That saved us probably about $40 a month. Expense number 3 that we cut was eating out at restaurants. We've never been a family that orders a ton of takeout or goes out to eat too often, but we knew that that was one place where I could save a lot of money, was cooking at home. So we decided to be really choosy about when we did go out to eat. We only take $30 every 2 weeks for our restaurant budget, and that allows us basically to grab Chipotle because that's our favorite. Maybe one night when we get home late or I didn't get a chance to cook, and otherwise we very rarely go out to eat. Some people have no idea how much money they're actually spending at restaurants. I want to challenge you to keep track for 1 full month every single bite of food that you purchase at a restaurant, and you might be surprised at how much you're spending. I bet you there's some room that you can make some cuts there and really save some extra money. The 4th expense that we cut while paying off debt was getting oil changes. We used to pay for oil changes for 2 cars. We just felt like it was getting really pricey. My husband actually had a friend who changed his own oil, and he asked him if he could show him how. So he did, and he's done it himself ever since, and it saves us probably $60, $70 each time. If you don't have a friend or a family member that can teach you, use YouTube. YouTube can be such a great resource. Hop on and search how to change your oil and watch a couple videos and give it a shot. It could be a little bit bigger of an expense in the beginning until you purchase all the supplies, but after that, really all you have to pay for is your oil and a filter each time. You can save a ton of money. The next expense we cut to pay off debt is a little bit controversial. So I highly suggest that you speak to a financial advisor that you trust, but we canceled our whole life insurance policies. We took Financial Peace, and if you have been through Financial Peace University or read any of Dave Ramsey's books, then you know that he is very much against whole life insurance. I'm not going to go into all the details here in this video But after counseling with a couple family members that we really trusted and giving it some major thought and talking to our financial peace coordinators, we made the decision to cancel our whole life insurance. Now, we did have term policies in place for both myself and my husband, which is so important. If you do not have any term in place, please do not cancel your insurance policies. Please do not leave yourself or your family uninsured. That's a really, really bad decision. And again, if you do have whole life and you want to cancel it, consult with your insurance agent or another professional that you trust. It's a pretty big decision. Canceling our whole life policies not only saved us about $250 a quarter, we were also able to get all of the cash out of those policies in a lump sum that we were able to put on debt. I'm going to leave a link to a blog post down below that tells you in detail how we got out of $35,000 worth of debt in only 7 months. And in that blog post, I talk a little bit more about why we canceled our whole life policies. The next expense that we cut when paying off debt was going out with friends. We didn't go out too often, but sometimes we would go to celebrate a birthday, or a group of friends would get a babysitter and we would go out and spend some time together. And what happens is when you go out even 1 or 2 drinks at a bar, the markup is just insane. If we want to have a cocktail with friends, doing so at home saves a ridiculous amount of money. If you are trying to pay off debt, you don't have a huge entertainment budget, then I suggest you try to entertain at home instead. The last expense that we have cut on our debt-free journey is my favorite. We have cut our grocery budget in at least half, maybe even more. My very first YouTube video I ever did was all about my top tips to save at the grocery store. I'm going to link that down below as well. I think you'll find a lot of those tips super helpful. We were able to save, I would say, at least $100 a week. So that is thousands of dollars over the year. Your grocery budget is often one of your biggest budget categories. So you have a lot of wiggle room. It takes some careful planning and it might take a little bit more time at the store, but I promise you that is one category where you can absolutely save some extra money. That's all my tips for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to check out the blog posts and the other videos I have down linked below. I think you'll find those helpful as well. I hope you got an idea or two to help save some money from this video today. And I thank you for watching. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it, and I hope you'll subscribe and come back real soon. Bye!